sister, Tara, told me I couldn't live with her after our parents died because her husband didn't want to raise someone else's kid. I was 15, standing in a hospital hallway, trying not to fall apart. 12 years later, Tara called me sobbing, asking for my spare room after he left her. Mom and Dad were gone within months of each other. One day I had a curfew. The next day I had funeral paperwork in a closet that smelled like lilies. Tara was 11 years older. Growing up, she'd been my protector. So I called her, sure she'd catch me. She didn't. First, she said she felt terrible. Then she repeated, he doesn't want to raise someone else's kid. Next, she told me I was almost grown anyway. After that, she blamed Derek, like that erased her choice. Then she said, I'm sorry, in this flat, practiced voice. Finally, she hung up and left me with the dial tone. Looking back, that one sentence did permanent damage. I stopped feeling like family and started feeling like an inconvenience. I bounced between relatives for years. One aunt put me on a couch where the springs dug into my back, and she reminded me weekly how lucky I was. I kept my stuff in a suitcase and learned to make myself small. I worked part-time, finished school, and acted grateful because being easy was the only way to stay housed. Meanwhile, Tara and Derek lived like I'd never existed. Vacations, parties, new furniture, no calls to ask if I was safe. That's when I realized you can abandon someone without ever slamming a door. By the time I was an adult, I had a steady job, my own place, and a fiancé, Evan. It wasn't glamorous, but it was mine. Then Tara called out of nowhere, crying so hard she kept choking on her words. Derek had been cheating and left her for the other woman. The house was in his name. The money was handled by him. She had nowhere stable to go. I just need somewhere to land, she kept saying. Please. I couldn't tell if I was shaking from rage or from old grief. I kept wondering if saying yes would erase 15-year-old me sleeping on that couch. So I texted back one line, I can't help. When she tried the family helps family speech, my jaw clenched. I blocked her. In hindsight, that was the first time I protected my peace without explaining myself. A week later, I went to dinner with friends. The place was packed, all bright lights and clinking silverware. A waitress walked up, notepad in hand, and I didn't recognize her until she looked at my face. It was Tara. She froze, her eyes filled. Then she started crying at the table like the room had punched her. People stared. The manager dragged her away, hissing apologies at us, and I hated that my first instinct was still to clean up the mess. I asked the manager not to fire her, just warn her. I didn't do it to be kind. I did it because I knew what it felt like to be disposable. Tara texted later, thank you. Can we talk? We met at a small coffee shop. I went in, braced for a handout request.